Hey guys, it's me, Bren, and today we're dodging some raindrops here at my home and garden. And we're gonna put together a two cute little planters that are perfect for this time of year if you wanna add some color in hanging baskets or out in your landscape even. I prefer to add these to my containers so I can protect them a little bit, because the two plants that I'm using today really don't like it too far below 35, 32 degrees. Ollie's chasing the guineas. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna put the camera down here so you can see how I put together these hanging baskets that I pretty much use year round. I love these baskets, and I'll give you some information on how you can find these for your home garden. And I'm gonna hang them right there on my porch, and they're gonna add a nice little boop of color while things are starting to get colorful and green here in my garden here in Ohio. Hardiness zone 5B. So here we go. All right, so here's my container. This is a really nice hanging basket. It's got a drainage hole here, and yeah, I just love this container. I'm gonna fill it with just a basic potting soil mix. Okay, so there is the potting soil mix. This is from one of my other containers, so you'll find, oops, I don't want a big leaf in there, but you will normally find sometimes some rocks, sometimes some pebbles in my soil. Actually, I'm gonna put that in the landscape. It's not uncommon to find little pieces of sticks in my potting mix, and of course you can see the perlite in there. Some pieces of peat moss or dried Spanish peat moss, and even some old roots in here that are kind of breaking down. As long as that soil can be kept loose like this, that works great for me. I did actually add a little bit of worm poop in here. You might want to add a little bit of fertilizer if you don't have any worm poop. That's just a organic type of fertilizer you can add to your containers if you're recycling soil, because the soil does need amendment, and that's like a whole nother video. But let's go ahead, we're gonna plant this up. Okay, so this is a beautiful plant. I can't wait for it to bloom. It kind of reminds me of a hollyhock. When it starts out, it kind of looks like a hollyhock. It is not a perennial in my area, this plant. These are Senetti. I hope I said that right. I'll put the spelling on the video here. And the cool thing about this plant is it loves to bloom in the cooler temperatures, but then when summer comes and the heat kicks in, these basically die back, because it's a cool loving annual in my area. I'm in zone 5B. And anyhow, for today's planting, I'm going to make this the center, because this can get pretty tall. You can keep it trimmed back, but I'm thinking this is the perfect size for this container. Basically, fill a little hole here, put them in the middle, nice and comfortably there. And if you have any trailing plants, you could put that in here. Since it is really spring here and I don't have access to too many trailing plants that will do well in the cool weather, so I'm going to use just your basic beautiful pansies that you can find at most garden centers. This is a pretty white one. It's going to look really nice on my porch. Now, I don't want to crowd this in too much. I'm just going to put 4 of this size pansy around the Senetti. So I'm just going to put the last 4 in here. I used 1 pack, which is nice because you can get a pack of 8 for $3.48 at my Lowe's. Love it. And just make a little hole, stick her on in. They're gonna love it in here. And if the temperatures do happen to drop down around freezing, it'll be protected on the porch. But if it gets too cold, since it's in a basket, I can actually move it to an area where it will be protected. All right, so you know me, I like to add a little bit of mulch, even in my containers, because it helps hold it in. We've been having a pretty dry spring so far. I'm actually a little worried, I'm wondering if we're gonna have a dry season this year. So fingers crossed we actually get some rain. Got a little tiny bit today. But see, this is why my potting soil ends up having little sticks in it, because the natural mulch I use actually breaks down and makes a really nice soil. So there it is. I'm gonna go ahead and hang this on my porch. And all right, so here's a couple of the colors that I'm gonna be adding to my containers, and I'm actually gonna put a couple out in my landscape to see how they do. So you'll have to stay tuned and stop back by and see how these perform. Like I said, I need to watch the weather, watch the temperatures, because these do not like to go too far below 35, 32 is pushing it, I think, according to what I've read online. But we'll leave a couple out to see, just in case if it does get down that low, which I think we have a night next week that gets it low. But the colors are just gorgeous, and I actually did see these blooming at the garden center, and I didn't take any pictures just because I didn't know what I was thinking. I was busy getting other stuff. So look at this. This one's coming. I can't wait. I'm so excited. This one is just a really pretty color. I'm anxious to see if this magic salmon, right, actually looks like that. Oh my gosh, that would be just gorgeous. We will see. I'm gonna actually put these in a container up on my porch so I can watch when they start to bloom. Yay! So you're gonna have to stop over at my website. Be sure to subscribe to my newsletter email over there at brenhaus.com so you can see the beautiful container when it blooms, and these other gems as they bloom. They're gonna be beautiful. So I hope to see you there.